So I went to see this film, and you got a standing ovation afterwards, the very first one at the Théâtre de Croisette. Was this the reaction that you expected? Were you nervous before you showed it?
You never expect something like that. You never expect such a positive reaction. It would be a little bit crazy to expect something like that. You know?
Because this is a very specific, very local story, really, and you must have wondered if it would play all over the world.
No, actually, to be honest, I always felt that. I mean, this film is a universal story, I guess. I mean, it's based on a specific context, but it's a universal story about just humans and politics and television and publicity. I don't know, democracy.
Yeah, so it's the most universal thing, I guess, that you're talking about defeating horror through happiness. That's happened before in humanity a lot of times. Yeah. And going back to the first question, I don't think you never expect something like that. Maybe you dream with something like that, but you're not really. You don't know what is going to happen. It's always
expecting something like that.
It's the very first time that we show it.
Yeah, it would have been very disappointing if we would expect that and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and we've all been there one time or another, you know.
Oh, yes,
It's so the character you play is an advertising executive who comes up with this amazing campaign that everybody fights against, the happiness campaign to throw over Pinochet in 1973. What is the reality of that character versus what you put in the film?
The reality of the character.
How much did you fictionalize him?
Well, no, the character doesn't exist, really. It's the character I play is an amalgam of mainly two of the main figures main publicists that organized the campaign. They are two different kinds of people as well, and they both appear in the movie, actually. One of them appears playing an executive for the Yes campaign.
It's the best joke, internal joke ever.
And the other one appears as the censor, as the one that, the censor organizer, the one that receives the cassette. And that was also a really interesting thing for him to play, no? Like this guy, because he had to hand in the cassettes back in the day, and he was now receiving the cassette, you know, and playing this kind of government official, and so he's an amalgam of these characters, but it's all, I mean, it's an interpretation of what happened at that point. Yes, many things are based on reality, but at the same time, it's yesterday we came up with a term to describe the film, and I don't know, maybe it sounds a bit pompous, but it's like it's a biofilm.
Yeah.
Some biofilm, like biotheater.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a biofilm kind of, because it has documentary, it has the real people acting in it, it has us playing around it, but obviously it is not only about what happened in those days, it's what's happening right now with our reflection on democracy and on elections and on what has changed, what hasn't changed, hope, how publicity, how political campaigns affect us, and I think that's why it's so, I don't know, it's so complex, the film, and so that's why I like it a lot as well, and I support it a lot, because I feel we gave not only our pancreas or our skin, but also part of our thoughts and rationality, you know.
Well, it's also a little bit of Mad Men, which is currently very popular.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with that comparison?
I think I'm pleased with, because Mad Men is a great TV series, but if you really get into it, there's nothing much in common. Yeah, as Gael said, this is a point of view of what happened. It's not exactly the official story, because the No campaign was made by a lot of people. So if we wouldn't really have all those characters, it would be a massive 5 hours, 30, 40 characters movie. It would be crazy. So we have every 2 or 3 real person, we have 1 character. So Gael is doing 2 or 3, Luis is doing 3 or 4, and every character represents 2 or 3 people.
One of the poignant things about the movie is the degree to which these people are being very, very brave, and how much danger they really were in. Your character is afraid, even after victory, that he might be killed at any minute. Was that a real threat? That's what I got at the end. If I'm
Victory?
crazy,
No,
I misinterpreted it.
No, that's your interpretation, and that's what can be taken. I mean, it's everyone's interpretation to think what's going to happen next. There was a real danger. Yes, people were very scared.
It was a real danger, and the beautiful thing is that they were on TV, so they couldn't really do anything to them. You know, they were protected by their own campaign, and like if somebody would go and hurt them, it would be too public, it would be internationally well known, so it wouldn't be good for the government. So that's why they never hurt them.
Okay.
But people were very scared, of course. I mean, from what had happened with the military coup, it was kind of common to eventually go to jail, no, during the dictatorship. I mean, because if you to get arrested, no, like if you played football when there was a I don't know how to say it.
When you're not allowed to go to the streets, I don't know how to say that.
A curfew.
Exactly, when there was curfew, if you were playing football like kids, they would arrest them. I mean, it would be really, really tough, and people were very scared of police and of secret police as well, and the army, yes.
So you chose to film this in a very specific aesthetic way, which was also very brave, to go back to the old video. And I wondered what kinds of debates you had, what you chose, why you chose it, why it was important to you to match the old footage.
I usually feel when I see movies that they use archival footage, that the archival footage is the reality, and then the movie pretends to create another reality, which is similar to the archival, but it's so different. Both materials are so different, and we didn't want that to happen this time. And the entire footage, the archival footage, would come in this video format. So
what cameras did you use?
There are 2 cameras from U-matic recording system from early 80s. Those cameras, we bought them in the United States. They fixed them in the United States, and we brought them to Chile because we really wanted to create an illusion that people wouldn't know, the audience wouldn't know if they would be watching archival footage or the film footage. And when that happened, when we were able to merge everything, I think we create something that is very special and very good for the movie, because you're not jumping into one material and then to another one. That
It
could
suggests-
put you out of the film.
Brilliant.
You're always inside the movie.
It suggests that you wanted, that you thought perhaps many people would see the film either online or on television or on video. Did you think it would look good up on the big screen?
I was very scared, to be honest. Very, very scared. And we did a test before we started shooting. And I like it, but I thought we could do better. And then when I just tested DCP right before coming to Cannes, it was the very first time that I saw it on a proper cinema with a proper process. And I really loved the way it looked. What happens, people at the first 5 to 10 minutes, they have a weird reaction. It's hard to get into the film, but once you're in, it works, I think, very good until the end.
Have you gotten, what kind of response have you gotten from distributors around the world for picking up the film?
It's very good. We're very glad. The film is getting distributed. I don't know, in almost everywhere, I would say. I cannot tell because it's not my job.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that we're very glad, and our sales company has a very big smile on their face.
Now, Gael, you have the option, unusual among actors, I think, partly because you're just so versatile that you speak English, you speak Spanish, you speak every single accent in Spanish that exists, it seems, from Chile to Spain to Mexico. What is your thought now in terms of, you can choose, you have a lot of options. Do you find that some of the Hollywood options are more limited than the ones that are offered overseas? You're in a lot of Hollywood films, but they sometimes are more of the commercial romantic comedy variety.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that it's we're living a moment in cinema where, or I think it's always been like this, but it's not like there's amazing films all the time being done, no? So it's not like I have to choose between this amazing movie and this other amazing movie. in reality, last year, for example, I only did this film, Pablo's film. It was the only film I did last year, and
It's because you're turning down a lot of crap, right?
partly that, yes, but not only that is because I only wanted to do what I only want to do what I like.
And you're producing films.
I'm producing films.
So
yes.
how many has your company produced now?
We made the count the other day. 19.
That's great.
It's a lot.
19?
19. It's weird.
And some of them have
counting
done-
productions and counting
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, we're...
Some have done very well.
Yeah.
Sí. Ahorita un número, si siquiera 18 ni 20, no y eso.
That's great, but that's crazy, no? When you think about it, it's like, wow,
What's been your biggest success with the company so
the
far?
company, Miss Bala.
Miss Bala, yeah.
Yes,
I loved
absolutely.
that film.
It's great.
It terrified me. I don't want to go to Mexico anymore. Do
Really?
you want me to have that reaction?
I'm sure I'll show you.
I
We
should
know
go
the
to
people
Mexico, it's amazing.
will get you around.
No, congratulations on that. And anything else coming up for you that we should know?
At the moment, no. I mean, there's many films being planned, and I just hope that they get the money. It's very hard to get the money to make a certain film a certain size. No, I mean, it's in Latin America it's easier to lift off films, especially independent movies. It's way much easier than it is in the United States, but there is a budget limitation, no. And I don't know. There's a few projects from the United States that they have strong problems getting financed.
Which one would you like to see made the most? We can put a plug in right
Which
now.
one I would like to see? I would love to see the Scorsese movie, the Silence movie. That one being. He's been. I mean, well, he can tell you more about it than I. But there's a film Scorsese in Japan.
Oh, that one would be good.
Yeah, I hope that happens because it would be incredible. But it's been ongoing, and I just hope that pretty soon it'll happen, and that he still will call me to do it.
How much did this movie cost?
Less than Titanic, no?
Yeah, which Titanic?
Which Titanic?
Around 2 million?
Congratulations, both of you. It's
Thank you.
a job well done.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right.